For over 1,000 years, a people misnamed, misunderstood, and marginalized have roamed the world, often seen, rarely known. They're called by many names: Gypsies, Roma, Sinti, Kale, Lom. But who are they really? Where did they come from? And what secrets lie buried in their mysterious past? Today, we unravel one of history's most misunderstood migrations, the epic journey of the Romani people, from ancient India to modern Europe, through persecution, perseverance, and pride. Long before they appeared in Europe, the ancestors of the Romani people lived in northern India, likely from regions like Punjab and Rajasthan around 1,500 years ago. Linguistic and genetic studies confirm it. The Romani language, Romani Chib, shares deep roots with Sanskrit and modern Indo-Aryan languages, particularly Hindi, Punjabi, and Marwari. In fact, linguists like Ian Hancock and Yaron Matras have traced hundreds of Romani words back to Indian origins. Even Romani grammar mirrors Indian patterns. Words like Raj, king, Dant, tooth, and Pani, water, show just how far the echoes of India have traveled. But why did they leave? Historians suggest waves of migration began around the 10th, 11th centuries. It was possibly driven by invasions of the Ghaznavid and Ghurid empires disrupting social order, social upheaval and caste oppression, especially of artisan and lower caste groups, forced displacement or recruitment into military or labor forces. The earliest known reference to these people outside India is from Byzantine records in the 11th century, mentioning the Atsingani, a group of foreign magicians or entertainers, possibly the Romani's ancestors. By the 14th century, Romani groups were appearing across Byzantine territories, and by the 15th century in Germany, France, Spain, and England. Many traveled with letters of protection from kings and nobles, presenting themselves as Christian pilgrims or penitent nobles. But their unfamiliar customs, language, and nomadic lifestyle triggered both fascination and fear. At first, their skills as metalworkers, musicians, horse traders, and fortune tellers won them temporary favor. But that quickly changed. Misconceptions grew. They were accused of witchcraft, espionage, and theft. Laws were passed to ban or expel them. Some were enslaved for centuries, particularly in Wallachia and Moldavia, modern-day Romania, where Romani slavery lasted from the 14th century until it was abolished in 1856. In Spain, during the Inquisition, Roma were imprisoned or forced to assimilate. In England, the Egyptians' Act of 1530 banished them entirely, rooting the false notion that they came from Egypt, hence the exonym Gypsies. And then came one of the darkest chapters of Romani history, the Porajmos, or the Devouring. Under Nazi Germany, Romani people were classified as racially inferior. Alongside Jews, Slavs, and others, they were rounded up, sterilized, experimented on, and murdered in concentration camps. Historians estimate 220,000 to 500,000 Romani lives were lost during the Holocaust, a genocide still too often overlooked in textbooks and memorials. Survivors were often denied reparations. Their stories, for decades, remained silent. Despite everything, the Romani people have survived. Their culture remains beautifully vibrant, expressed in flamenco in Spain, jazz manouche by Romani guitarists like Django Reinhardt, and storytelling, embroidery, music, dance, and spiritual traditions that blend East and West. Each Romani subgroup, Sinti, Kale, Romanikal, Lovari, Kalderash, Dom, Lom, has its own dialects, customs, and migratory stories. Their history is not one line, but a constellation of stories, all connected by resilience. Today, over 10–12 million Roma live in Europe, with more in the Americas and the Middle East. but prejudice persists. In many countries, Roma face systemic discrimination, poverty and exclusion, and limited access to education, housing, and healthcare. Stereotypes still run deep, portraying Romani people as inherently nomadic, criminal, or mystical. But the majority live settled lives, contributing to society while battling prejudice and policy failures. Romani stories have inspired and appeared in countless works, sometimes with nuance, often steeped in stereotype. Books: We Are the Romani People by Ian Hancock, Gypsy Law, Romani Legal Traditions and Culture, edited by Walter O. Weyrauch. Bury Me Standing by Isabel Fonseca. Movies and documentaries: Lacho Drom, 1993, a stunning musical journey tracing Romani migration. A People Uncounted, 2011, powerful, emotional, and educational. Papusha, 2013, story of a Romani poetess who broke barriers. TV series, Peaky Blinders, featuring Romani heritage in the Shelby family. My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding, though controversial, it raised awareness of UK Romani communities. The story of the Romani people is one of endurance, beauty, and strength, written across continents and centuries, too often in the margins. To truly honor their legacy, we must challenge prejudice, celebrate their contributions, and remember their history, not as myth, but as truth. So, what are your thoughts on the Romani journey through history? Have you encountered their culture where you live? Comment below. Share your stories. Let's start a conversation. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden histories of the world.